Okay, so let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive on really a battle of TV titans.
Absolutely.
We've got this massive price gap, right? You have the Hisense U8Q Mini-LED, that's what, $1,000 bucks,
Around there, yeah. And then you have the LG G5 OLED.
which is over $3,000, more than 3 times the price.
Exactly. So our mission here, really, is to figure out if that extra $2,000 actually buys you genuinely better technology.
Or is it just, diminishing returns?
Right. And the core fight is, well, it's brute force versus precision. The Hisense is pushing, what, 4,000 nits of brightness?
Which is just nuclear.
It's an incredible number. But the LG has its new 4-stack OLED panel. It's supposed to be 45% brighter than last year's model.
All while keeping those legendary perfect blacks that OLED is known for.
That's the thing. The Hisense, it has to mimic perfect blacks.
So does it do that?
With local dimming. But here's the rub, and this is really important for you to understand.
Okay.
The U8Q only has 48 dimming zones. Just 48 little sections trying to manage the light for the entire screen.
And the LG.
The LG doesn't care about zones. It just turns individual pixels completely off. That's how you get infinite contrast.
So one is an approximation, the other is the real deal.
Precisely. And what's so interesting about the G5 is how it's finally tackling OLED's one big weakness, which has always been brightness.
Yeah, that's always been the knock against it.
And they did it with that 4-stack structure. They're literally layering 4 light-emitting layers. This spreads out the heat so they can drive the panel harder for more pop without, damaging it long term.
Okay, so that brightness on the Mini-LED, those 4,000 nits, that has to look incredible with HDR content, especially in a bright room.
Oh, it does. It makes you squint.
Yeah.
But then you pivot to something like gaming and speed.
And things get interesting again. Both of them hit 165 hertz. Both do Dolby Vision gaming.
Yep. The Hisense even adds a game bar and a USB-C port, which is a nice touch for PC gamers.
But the LG has that OLED advantage, that 0.1 millisecond response time.
And that's not just a number on a spec sheet. We're talking about pixel transitions that are practically instantaneous.
So for a competitive gamer, what does that actually mean?
It means no ghosting, zero motion blur. It feels like your controller has a neural link directly to the screen. It's a different class of performance.
And this is where that $2,000 gap starts to make a bit more sense, right? Getting rid of the little imperfections.
This is exactly it. The Mini-LED's limits, especially with just 48 zones, they become glaringly obvious in dark scenes.
You mean blooming?
Huge amounts of blooming. You see those bright halos around white text on a black background? That's because the zones are just too big to control the light precisely.
And it's not just the blooming, right? I've heard about uniformity problems.
Yeah.
People call it the dirty screen effect, DSE. What is that exactly?
So DSE is when you're looking at a solid block of color, think like a soccer field or a sky, and you see these subtle splotches or darker patches, it looks like the screen is a bit dirty.
A manufacturing flaw, basically.
It's an inconsistency in the LCD backlight. With the LG G5, you pay for a perfectly uniform panel out of the box. You pay for that consistency.
So beyond the panel itself, what else are you buying? The premium gets you a 5-year warranty, sure, but also the Alpha 11 processor.
And that chip is a monster. It's not just basic upscaling. We're talking about AI-powered noise reduction, superior motion handling. It makes old, low-res stuff look incredibly clean.
Far better than what the Hisense can manage.
No comparison.
Okay, so the final verdict here seems to depend entirely on you, the listener, and your room.
It really does. If you watch TV in a bright living room and you just want that maximum HDR pop for the lowest price, the Hisense U8Q is an amazing value. It's like 80% of the premium quality for 30% of the cost.
But is that 80% good enough when the other 20% involves flaws you can actually see, like blooming and flickering?
Well, that's the question. If you're a movie lover who watches at night, or a serious competitive gamer, or you just want the most technically perfect image that science can produce,
then the LG G5 justifies every extra dollar.
It does. You're buying the elimination of those final, visible imperfections. You're buying technical perfection.
So that leaves a really interesting question for you to think about. Considering those explicit flaws of the Mini-LED, the halos, the flickering, does 80% premium still feel like the best value? Or is seeing any kind of flaw, any crack in the illusion, enough to break the experience for you, no matter how much money you save? What part of the picture matters most to you?